AVC, it's John here. Happy Easter. And I was inspired, a lot of videos doing, talking about like favorite cover songs and favorite thrash metal songs, and a lot of great stuff was covered. So, I mean, I could do one on cover songs. I'd love to do that, but I got to think about it. But what I was aiming to do, I was thinking about for a while, is I'm just going to do 5 foreign records, foreign metal records. And I have one, like a hard and heavy 70s foreign record. But not quite foreign. I mean, when I say foreign, I kind of exclude, usually I exclude England, Scandinavia. Like, some reason I think of these countries as being on the same wavelength as America a little more. But I think when I think of foreign, I think of like South America. I think of Eastern Europe. I mean, even Italy and Spain a bit, but I don't really think of Belgium and Sweden, obviously, and Norway a little bit. But anyway, enough of that on my philosophy. I don't have that many foreign metal records, excluding Germany and Scandinavia. I have all those. I just count them as regular records, Destruction or something. I don't think of those as foreign bands. But I'm going to start with my Heavy 70s, or hard and heavy 70s, and I'll put it on. And this is a bootleg from the 90s at some point of a band called Solid Ground. The album's Made in Rock, and they're a Swedish band, and they don't quite fit into the foreign category to me. But 1976, and they're really, really young guys. Check this out. This record is great, and I got this when it was booted. I don't even remember when, but we played the hell out of this record, and I really like it. I got a soft spot for it. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but you listen to the kid drummer, who's not great, but I'll let it play. I'll needle drop a couple of tracks, and I know no information on this band, and the original is probably unfindable, but worth a lot of money. This is just a bootleg. Solid Ground. And they sing in English in this band. That's also why I'm not going to count them that much of a foreign band. And I think track 3 they name drop T-Rex, so that's pretty cool. This one's entitled This Bloody Town. I'll just get to the chorus. A little boogie-ish. And there's nothing, absolutely no information on this. 1976 Sweden that was. And then the next record I'll do is a Dutch band, but I don't normally consider Dutch as foreign so much. But this band, since this Netherlands band sings in Dutch, Vandale, and this is their first record. Well, actually, it could be Vandale. I don't know. And it's Schandale. I don't know if that's Scandal, or it probably means scandal, but I don't know. And this record is a lot of fun. It's not totally great, but when it hits the mark, it's fantastic. There's a couple of tracks that are just absolutely fantastic. I'll try to needle drop those, and those I'll pull the record out just to hear like the one song. And what is this, like 1981 on the Papagayo record label, which I have no idea. And not every song is great. They go into like this hard rock stuff, but the interesting thing is I'm pretty good at figuring out album covers and pictures, but I cannot figure out who the band is in this, like who the core band is. It's got 5 members in the band, but there's not one band picture that's consistent. Yeah, this isn't the song I wanted to play, but it kind of gets weird. It's almost like listen to this one though. Now this one kicks ass. This is Jitten Wallen Socken Rockers, which I think means wool sock wearing rockers, or woolly sock rockers. But they got like 4 members here, which could be the core of the band, but then you go up here, and it's like different. 2 of the guys are the same, or 3, but then they have 2 other members. And then they have 5 with a different guy. Like it's weird. I cannot figure out. Then down here, there's a different lineup. And then there's each one, there's like a, I don't know if he's African American, but he's in this lineup of 4, but he's not in this lineup of 4. It's very weird. I can't figure out who the members are. There's like 6 or 7 guys that alternate these pictures of 4 or 5. Yeah, and there's not like, there's no band shot. This is a great tune. And then the last track on side 1 is also another great one, Rot Up, which might mean go away if I looked it up. The last track's short, it's right near the end, so the needle may go back. Let me try to find it. Look. This is a great track. And I don't think they have a second album, which I don't know why I never ventured to pick up, because this record is so good. Well, that's enough of a taste of that record. I mean, there's some other good songs. Those were the 2 best I just needle dropped. But there's some other good ones on there. That's Vandale. I always say Vandale. And now we're going to go... Actually, I'll show this one. I bought this because of Greenough. Highly recommend this. And Bow Wow, I always knew of them. And Bow Wow, but I didn't have any records. And I never did research on them, even as a kid. I always discard Japanese bands. I mean, I have a couple, but I'm not that big of a Japanese guy. But this record really appealed to me the way Greenough described it. And I landed this for $9.99, like $15 or $15. I think it was $9.99. It's in absolute fantastic condition, and it's got the OB, and it's from 1977. It's original OB because it's like RCA. It's up here, 100-year anniversary, 1877 to 1977, and it's got some really cool old RCA receivers from 77, or a tuner and a receiver. A tuner and an amp, rather. Sorry, a receiver and an amp. But this is Bow Wow Signal Fire, and Greenough did a great review of Bow Wow. If you check out, I think it's his like hard 70s, he calls it. But this record's in great shape, and it's got the inner, and that's them there. It's got the lyrics in Japanese and English, and it's fantastic record. 70s, but it's got such a an eye to the 80s and to the future, in the same way like the Scorpions would have that. Like, and I don't know if I'm gonna needle drop this. Maybe it's fantastic. They what's interesting, like the production, they'll actually like use a phaser like you'd use a phaser pedal sometimes on the drums or the guitar, but they actually put it over the whole recording for a lot of songs. Sometimes they just keep it at one thing, but sometimes over some of the songs you'll hear them do a phaser over the whole recording, and that must have been like a really modern, futuristic sound for them. And some absolute killer songs on here, great choruses, and I won't needle drop this, but did I show the back, what they look like? I'll just slide it this way. But fantastic guitar playing with the hotshot guitar player, or I don't know his name, but Greenough gives more information. But I was thrilled to get this record, and for so cheap. Because this is Japanese only. And now we're going to go behind the Iron Curtain, and we're going to go with, Citron. Citron, which is a Czechoslovakian band. And this is on, Superphone Records. And we'll do, track 2 is a good one. It's the only song in English, and it's called Rock, Rock, Rock. But they sing in Czech, and they totally got their wannabe Scorpions. And I love that whole, like, holding the guitar, pointing, drumsticks out, like the Scorpions poses they'd always have. And the interesting thing about this is the lead singer. Usually the lead singer's in the front of a picture, but you could barely even see him. You'd think that's the drummer, but this dude's the drummer with the pot belly. Total Scorpions pose here. And this is, I think, 1985, record 86 this album is. And it's called PLNI Energy. It's Full Energy. And all the songs are in Czech. And I translated them on the internet. And they're titled Steel... Oh yeah, let's hear the chorus. Fun record. The production's, I mean, everything sounds good, but just the mix is a little off. But I don't know, but they got pretty good titles. Steel Heart, Eternal Strangers. Some of them I couldn't quite translate right. Garden Party, Ordinary Extraordinary. But this is Citron, and I believe this word, I don't know if it's intentional, but in the translate on the internet, this translates to lemon. Like I see the root citrus or whatever, but the name of this band is Lemon. And they look really good. They really they're a funny band. Alright, I think you know where that's going. And we'll stay behind the Iron Curtain. And I got TSA. This is let me think of it. The Sobriety Association. Oh, I can't remember now. I think this is Sobriety. Oh, now I don't. Total Sobriety Association, or I don't know. Something with the word sobriety. I can't remember. This is a Polish band, and they're almost an AC/DC sounding band, which I could have probably put in that AC/DC one. Not totally, but this is on American Phonograph with the for the younger kids. That's a pull tab. And you got some good mustaches if you could see them. Let's see. There's the guitar player. Or one of the guitar players. These are all the negatives, and you can see the little X's, like the ones they wanted to use, and like at some point they just said, no, we're just going to use them all. But this is 1983. Yeah, he sounds a little bit like Sammy Hagar, too. Oh, yeah, I see my jacket. This is my trouble jacket. But the thing about this band, which I need to talk about, is there was a documentary on them. I want to say I saw like 15 years ago, let's say, and my wife saw it too. And it was a fantastic documentary on TSA, and with all this footage behind the Iron Curtain, and then there was a rift in the band between the singer and the guitar player, and they broke up, and the singer went to America, and then like they were huge in Poland and the whole Eastern Bloc. And I remember him moving to New York City. He's just a plumber, and he's living in this small apartment. He's like, I was the #1 singer in Poland, or the top 5 singers in Poland, and here he's in New York. He's just living in a shabby apartment as a plumber, and he's a complete nobody. But it was a fantastic documentary, and I can't find it anywhere. I can't even find a reference on the computer anywhere. I did like a couple hours searching, but I know I'm not crazy because my wife saw it too. We saw it. I don't know if we got it from like Netflix when they first started and had obscure movies, or where we got it, but I wish I owned it, and I always meant to grab it, thinking it'd be readily available, but I can't find it anywhere. But if anyone knows about this movie, and I'm glad I'm not the only one who saw it, it's one of those like you think you're crazy things, but absolutely wonderful documentary with footage. I think they were always like escorted around by the police, and it was really tough, like tough to be a heavy metal band in those countries back then. And the name of the album's Heavy Metal with the comma, heavy metal. Let me there's some good songs on here. I haven't listened to this in a long time. The song called Black Sabbath was pretty good. Oh, they have a song called People Like Zombies. And like, I think they mean people who are like zombies, or people are like zombies, but I like the title, People Like Zombies. People Like Zombies. I like that title. But anyway, I know they have quite a few, or they had a few, like maybe 3 albums or something. But really cool. And if anyone could ever see the documentary on this, absolutely fantastic. It didn't sound that impressive in the needle drop, but it's a pretty decent record. And since we're behind the Iron Curtain, I'll do my last one, which is I think they're the Black Coffee group. Black Coffee and Step Over the Threshold. This is a Soviet Union group from the USSR. And this is a good record. And I wish I had listened to this more recently to think of the good songs. But it totally feels of desperation. And this is the... I'm not even going to pronounce that. And this might be 88. I want to say I thought it was 87, but maybe this version was 88. And let's see. I think this is side 1. I'll just start with the first. I'll start with the first track. But this record is almost a scary record in that this is Soviet Union, Cold War. But check out the band. Regular kind of drummer. And you got lots of makeup. But the best part of this record is this guy who scares the hell out of me. Like that's their manager or I don't know what that is. It's like their escort from the state. He's got his name on there and his picture as big, maybe even bigger than the band members. But that guy scares me. These guys are really young. I'd say they're like between 19 and 22, and to have this guy following around asking for the money and the contracts. I might have to just do a needle drop to find a good one, but there's some good ones. There's maybe side 2. There's like not ballad, but like a slow one with the lead guitar, and it's kind of like a Scorpions type tune, but it's got such a desperation. And it's all in Russian, but I do have the English translation of the song titles, so that helps. Very sad record. Maybe the Russian language, because I'm used to, not that I know a lot of Russian songs, but I think you always hear, always feel sad and desperate, like the classical Russian. And this has that mood. This could be like Still Loving You, the Russian version. But I want to say it was on, this is I'm Seeking After. But something on side 2 was really heartbreaking. The Black Coffee Group. Try one more. Ocean of Stars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see. Maybe it's this one. Oh, yeah, this is. It's not. I mean, it's a heavy metal record. I'm giving you the ones that aren't heavy metal, but. Imagine sitting in a van driving through like the barren farm fields in the Soviet Union. Oh, it's another 2 hours to the next village we're going to play at. It's really sad. I'm going to turn this off and listen. This is great late at night, like depressing music. What is this? This might be Burning Star. But it's a heavy metal record. Alright, that's about it. I hope you had a happy Easter. And nothing great that I showed, but besides that, the Bow Wow is great and the Solid Ground. Actually, there's a couple good ones, but nothing mind-blowing. See you later. Cheers.